We're going to be looking at problem 219. This is on page 95 in your textbook. And 219 talks about SAT scores versus ACT scores. We're told about Eleanor, who scores 680 on the mathematics portions of the SAT. And we're told that the distribution of SAT scores is normal. Additionally, we're told that the mean score is a 500 with a standard deviation of 100. And once again, Eleanor scored a 680. So right about here. We're then told that Gerald takes the ACT and scores a 27, and that the ACT scores are also normally distributed. So we are going to translate our normal curve from our SAT scores straight down for our ACT scores. We're told that the mean on the ACT is a score of 18 with a standard deviation of 6. Gerald scored a 27 on the ACT. And because we translated straight down, we can visually compare their scores. They both scored well. They're both towards the right tail. So they both scored well. They're both well above the average score. They're both well above one standard deviation of the score. They both did well on the test. However, it appears visually that Eleanor did a little bit better. Gerald is right in between 24 and 30. That means he is 1.5 standard deviations from the mean. And if we look at Eleanor's score, she is almost 2 standard deviations. She is right below 2 standard deviations. She's above 1.5 standard deviations. She did a little bit better. Another measure we can look at is a z-score for each of our young students. And the z-score for Eleanor, we're going to calculate using her score, and we're going to subtract the mean, and we're going to divide by the standard deviation. So Eleanor's score of 680, we're going to subtract the mean of 500 and divide by the standard deviation of 100. Doing this calculation gives us her z-score, which is a 1.8. To calculate Gerald's z-score, we do the same process. His score minus the mean divided by the standard deviation. His score of a 27 minus the mean score on the ACT of an 18 divided by the standard deviation of 6. And doing this gives us Gerald's z-score of a 1.5. So we stated earlier that visually it appears that Eleanor did a little bit better on her test than Gerald did on his. And the z-scores reinforce this statement. They support our statement. Eleanor's z-score is higher. Her z-score is 1.8, whereas Gerald's is 1.5. So in conclusion, since Eleanor's z-score is greater, and that once again is 1.8 which is greater than 1.5. She has the higher score.